I had no idea. None.
Actor Sheryl Lee Ralph came to us knowing that her roots ran back into the slave era on both sides of her family tree. But Cheryl had no idea that some of her ancestors had been freed long before the Civil War. The story begins with Cheryl's great-great-grandfather, a man named George Ralph. George was born in North Carolina around 1850. And we found him in the 1860 census, listed by name, which could only mean one thing. He was free. He wasn't a slave.
What?
You descend from a free person of color.
Oh, my God.
What's it like to see that? How does it make you feel?
Very good. And it doesn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I look at my family as far back as I can look, I always see them owning something.
Mm-hmm.
I always see them striving towards something.
Mm-hmm.
I always see them working. And, you know, they would say things like, that Ralph family.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been carrying it with us
Mm-hmm.
all these years.
We wanted to learn how George became free and found our answer by turning back to the 1860 census. It lists his mother, a woman named Penny, by name, just like George. That means you had 2 generations in your family that was free before the Civil War.
What are you telling me?
George was born free.
Free.
Because his mother was
free.
That's 2 generations who were free.
Wow. Thank you, God. Thank you, Skip. Wow.
Though they were free, Cheryl's ancestors had to live in a world that didn't see them as equals. And that would prove very challenging. We found an apprenticeship agreement that was filed with a North Carolina court when George was roughly 10 years old. It lays out the terms under which he was to go to work for a white farmer without pay. This was a common practice at the time, part of a system designed to prevent impoverished youth from burdening the state. But it was also a way to exploit free black children. Indeed, George's agreement contains a line that's been crossed out, an act that makes its intent patently clear.
Also, to read, write, and cipher agreeable to law.
But that's been struck out.
That's been crossed out.
Yes.
Meaning, young black boy, I might do all of these things for you, but I will not teach you to read, write, and do arithmetic.
That's right. The law required white apprentices to be taught to read and write and cipher.
Mm-hmm.
The state created an exemption for children of color.
How about that?
It's amazing to see. I was astonished. I've never seen anything like that
My
before.
God.
Remarkably, despite the odds stacked against him, George persevered. He became a farmer, raised a family, and perhaps most impressively, somehow found a way to obtain an education in his old age, despite having been denied one as a child. An accomplishment that filled Cheryl with pride.
I come from good people. And I come from people who never gave up. And kept right on. And they plant the seeds that are still growing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm a free man's child. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's me, Cheryl Lee Rao.
Discovering our ancestors can change our lives, helping us to understand more fully who we are, where we came from, and how we're all connected to a much larger world. To see more incredible family history stories, click here. And thank you for watching.